Now I got a new bucket, and we're going to use it to show you how we make our fertilizer.
Charles Lee, what are you doing with that brand new buckets?
Pause, okay. I'm going to take a 3/4 inch drill bit. This is a paddle bit. It's a little bit rusty. It's a little bit old, but it'll do the job. And it'll make this fit perfect. See where the handle is? I put a hole right up there, kind of close to the top, and then I turn it all the way around. Where the handle is, I put one down about 2 inches or so from the bottom. These are 1/2 inch fittings. On one side I got a place, it's for the pipe itself, and on the other side it's threaded. Take the threaded side, it's going to be a tight fit. You got to push it and turn at the same time. Once it starts, you ain't got to push no more. Now you can put a thing of silicone right there. I haven't seen where it's needed just yet, but if it does need it later on, I can always just unscrew it and put me some silicone and keep that water in there. But put one right there at the bottom, put one right here at the top. What I've done, I went ahead and cut me a couple of these are 1/2 inch. I cut me 2 of these nipples about 3 inches long, 2.5 inches long maybe. And basically all you gotta do, stick one in there. We're gonna point that one down. I cut a piece about 7.5 inches. It'll vary, and it's really not that critical as long as you get it close. I'm gonna put one right there, and I'm gonna put another 90 on the bottom facing outward. This is where my pipe that goes to my garden is gonna hook up to. On this bottom one, I'm gonna stick another one of these nipples in there. On the bottom, I'm gonna put one of these valves, these ball valve things. And again, I'm not gluing them. You can glue them. It'd be all right to glue them. But right now, I'm just dry fitting them. They seem to work all right. Now, this is where I can turn my water on and off. That way I can keep water in here. I made this up for my other one. And what it is, it's got a fitting that goes on the water hose. On this side, it just fits the pipe. And I can interchange these because I'm not going to be doing more than one at a time anyway. All you got to do is stick that in there, and we'll show you in a second what we need to do with that. I've got some cheesecloth. I've got chicken manure, I've got cow manure, I've got rabbit manure. You can pretty much put any of that in this cheesecloth, and we're going to let it soak in that bucket for a few days. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some of this chicken manure, and I might even put some cow manure in there. You want it tied up so the majority of this stays in the bucket. I'm going to put a zip tie on it because I can. Now I got a little baggie full of poo. I'm going to set it in here. I'm going to soak it real good. I'm going to let it soak for several days. Now what you'll want to do is set your water just so you don't want it to overflow, but you don't want it to be too low. So you got to adjust your water valve just a little bit. That way it'll keep a steady level. I'm going to let this soak. I'm not just going to run this through there. I'm just showing you this because I wanted you to see how it worked. This is going to go in here. I'm going to shut the water off, and then I'm going to shut this valve off so it'll hold this water in here, and that way this manure will seep or steep for a few days before I actually run it through. Only going to run it through about 15-20 minutes at a time, and then let it steep again. This is one that I'd set up a while back, a few days ago. And you can look in here and you can see how the manure has discolored this water. It's infusing itself into the water. And so I can actually run a hose through here and down this line, and it will be good to go. This one I just got a screen that's holding down the manure. It may work just as good or better than the cheesecloth. I've got the water hose hooked up to there. Got the valve open. Goes into the bucket, comes out the top, goes down, and goes into my pipe that has little holes. All I've done is I've taken these 10-foot lengths of 1/2 inch pipe, I've drilled some holes in them, and then I can move them. I don't glue them in, so I can just move them wherever I need to move. On the last one, I've got a cap. That way we can run pipes wherever we want to. We can take these, move them wherever we want to move them. Leave the top on, that way nothing can get in it, and let it steep. And then every 3-4 days you can go out and give your plants a little goodness.